This looks acceptable to me. What? Much, much better than 160. This could still happen. It's alive. Complete disbelief that we're at this stage right now. Pray, pray, pray to the recruiting gods. Welcome again to another week in life, what I do every single day as a recruiter at my own agency in the technology industry. This video is no exaggeration, no hype, showing you the ups and downs, what we go through with clients and candidates on a day-to-day basis. If you haven't watched last week's video, make sure you stop and check that out right now, because coming into this week, we are possibly looking at 1 to 3 different deals and managing, making sure that everything closes as smooth as possible. Stress is yay high, but beyond that, got a jam-packed week with a lot of interviews and just trying to do my best to kind of make February awesome. So if you are as excited as I am to finish February, to start March with tremendous momentum, feel free to support a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It really means a lot. Let's get started. All right, so a couple updates. Number one, we also have a interview happening or resync happening with our software engineer manager with our clean tech energy client. He got an offer, but if you've seen last week's video, it's completely way off. He wanted 200, they wanted 160, and then I was going back and forth and be like, hey, if you want 200, because you also have another competing offer that's giving you 220, like my client can't do that. The good news is that my candidate is not all about the money. He really likes my client so much that he's willing to kind of compromise in the middle, which is a great thing. But there's a huge gap between what my client's offering, what the competing offer is with the competing company. I was able to kind of feel him out a little bit, and he really told me that, like, hey, if they can't come up on salary, maybe they can come up on equity, because that is something I'm willing to kind of really put my bet on, because I believe in this company. So he's gonna chat with one of their kind of HR managers today. I honestly hope that goes really well. Honestly, like, to me, it's 50-50, yay or nay, or maybe like more like 40-60, 30-70 against me, because I don't know if my client can come up higher. And this is a little frustrating, because when I first picked up the role, they told me that they can hit 200. Now they came out with 160, but then the offer was 170 plus 10K, so it's 180. But his competing offer is at 220, so there's a huge gap. And honestly, I don't know if my client can go higher. So a little bit of a nerve-wracking situation, not much more I can do, to be honest. I can do my best to really paint the picture with my candidate, really focus on equity. But even the equity that he has is less than the equity with us competing. But that is still something I can kind of manage with. But the other package with this other company is also in a space he's really excited about. So it's not like my client is in a space that he's super excited about and the competing offer is like a blah. He's also excited, and he got a pretty amazing package. If I was him, I might take the other package, but we'll see. We'll see if the conversation goes big or small. I'm also syncing up with my CEO candidate for my e-commerce client. And my e-commerce client told me yesterday they want to extend an offer $250,000 with 3% equity and ownership in the company. I'm gonna sync up with him later today, and I honestly hope that this is okay. I know that he wanted 250 to 300, but this is on the low end. My game plan here is to extend, keep it positive, focus on the things that really matter, paint that picture, paint his future, and then of course sync him again with John, who is one of the founders. And I like to do that because it's no better way to close or to sell someone again about the role, about the company, than the founder themselves. Because why? They built the company, or they know how to talk about it in the best way possible to get maximum engagement and excitement. So I'm gonna send him the details. I'm gonna hopefully talk to him later, see how he feels, and then have him sync up with my client maybe tomorrow or Thursday, and hoping at that point that he goes through all the questions, he can answer, and done. Also have like 10 candidate calls today, 2 interviews today, podcast today. If you haven't checked out my podcast, check it out. Completely free Kickstart podcast on Apple and Spotify. We just talk with awesome people who are just living and breathing some amazing careers and building amazing companies. And I just want to kind of get to know their story more and give some valuable insights to the people that are listening. So hope you enjoy, really means a lot. Got a bunch of other calls happening right now, but got to get ready for my chat with the CEO in a bit. Okay, spoke with the CEO candidate, verbally said, high level, he sounds positive, which is fantastic. He's already talking about like start date and doesn't seem like he has that many questions. The only thing that he mentioned is that him and his wife want to go over the benefits because that's really important for both of them. So I'm going to shoot that over to him in addition to like the terms. And yeah, let's see what questions that he comes back with. But if this can close, then this will be literally an amazing month. And then with this clean energy engineer, who knows what will happen. But if that closes, literally, I should just retire and stop because I put so much work into that. And man, it's just so frustrating when a client comes out with terms were way lower than you thought. Not the best for confidence, not the best for like a really positive, synergistical relationship that I want with my clients. But we'll see. We'll see what happens and just gotta hope for the best. But gotta focus now on 3-4 more calls and then I'll see you in a bit. Whoa, it is almost 4 p.m. Remember how I told you that my engineering manager, I said engineering, is actually engineering manager at my clean tech is just not gonna happen. I just got an email from my candidate to the hiring manager to the HR saying, thank you for the updated offer. This looks acceptable to me. What? So they offered him initially 170 plus 10K sign-on bonus. It seems like they revised to a base of 185 plus 7,000 stock options, but he added 3 questions. When is the start date? I would like to know more about their stock policies, and he wants to know more about the strike price. But oh my God, this is like progressing, but in the right direction. I thought this wasn't gonna happen. I was already just not even thinking about this anymore, but this could still happen. It's alive. So I need to just pay attention and focus here. This would be literally absolutely amazing when you think that you lost the deal, but it's coming back or it's still alive. It refuses to die. I gotta do whatever I can to get these final questions answered in hopefully an acceptable manner to get this closed. Deal went from 170 to 185. It even got bigger, a lot more on the line. Wow, let's make it happen. Okay, so for our CEO candidate, he got back to me thanking me, which is great. He's looking to maybe negotiate to 4% equity instead of 3% among a couple other small low-hanging fruits. We'll just see what happens. And I told him, hey, just be honest and transparent. That can only help you. As far as my clean energy candidate, it seems like he's asking for a specific strike price, which you really can't do. It's not so much like a company policy, it's kind of IRS law to provide a certain individual strike price before the next fundraising round. So I hope that's not a deal breaker, but everything else from start date seems to be okay. So hoping that is not a tremendous deal breaker, which I hope it isn't because it's federal law, can't really skirt around that, then I hope the offer is okay. We will see what happens. But right now, my head of sales candidate has just a couple more questions about the offer with the founder tomorrow. Founder is also talking to the CEO candidate tomorrow, hoping to just finalize both tomorrow. That'd be a giant month. And then at the same time, just pray to the recruiting gods about this clean energy situation, which is still hanging on by a thread. Or it's more like by a rope at this. It's not like super thin and flimsy. I think it's going in the right direction, but I just needed to get over this hump. So we'll see what happens, but it's almost 5 o'clock. I still have a couple more candidate calls today, a bunch more sourcing, and still a lot more work. So we'll see you in a bit. Happy Wednesday. It is roughly about noon, giving you a quick update. So we have been literally going back and forth with our clean energy tech software engineering manager in ridiculous negotiations. And it's just honestly very, very nerve-wracking. So in the beginning, they offered him 160. He was looking for 200. He had a competing offer that offered him 220. They then came up to 185 plus 7,000. That was yesterday, and now he's asking for more questions like, hey, can I get a better strike price for my equity? Because the company's about to raise a Series B, can I get the same strike price as Series A? And then the company's like, hey, like we can't do that. That's just really, really not fair. Like how would you feel joining a company and then someone joins you later with the same kind of strike price? It's honestly timing and it's all fairness. And you can't give somebody an advantage, let alone retroactively like use the strike price in the previous round because that price has been expired. So kudos to my candidate for shooting for the moon and kind of going for it. And, you know, when it comes to negotiations, you should always do that. And then, but you should also, you know, be realistic and be okay if they said no. With that said, I had a conversation with my candidate. I'm like, hey man, like it's cool that you're asking for a lot of things and you're kind of, you know, going for the moon, but like what, you know, how are you feeling? What's the situation? Like, how are you feeling about the current terms of the offer? He's like, I'm feeling pretty good, but you know, if they can't move on any of these things, can I ask for more? I'm like, you can always ask for more. I'm a huge advocate for asking for more, but I did tell him I was frankly a little surprised that they were able to come to 185 because I thought 160 was their top end. They came to 185. I don't know, you know, we're new territory together. I don't know how much higher they can go because frankly, I didn't even know they can go this high. So I told them, hey, we should totally negotiate if you want to. I'm all about maximizing the money on the table. And if he's okay with like, you know, not having additional clauses, getting a better strike price to kind of compensate, make himself feel more comfortable. So I kind of left it at that. We'll see what happens with the company. Hopefully we can hear back from them. They tend to be fairly responsive. And honestly, like at this point, I don't know because I don't know how he feels with the new salary. It's still lower than his competing offer. He likes my client a little better interest-wise. He's asking really technical specific questions about equity, like can we add an acceleration clause to it? Can I retroactively like, you know, have a strike price? A lot of these things are just not possible, either whether it's like IRS law or you just can't do that in all fairness to maintain a really good culture with your team. So I hope that's not a deal breaker for him. We'll see what happens, but you know, I'll keep you updated here, but just a pack day, take it and go from there. Okay, so quick update. So about an hour ago, we actually heard back from our client responding back to our engineering manager candidate, and they said, hey, we cannot and will not go higher on equity or salary, which is not ideal, but we're willing to give you a $5,000 sign-on bonus if you accept, which is awesome because we go on and bat for him behind the scenes as much as possible. Like, guys, please, like, I know you want him. You came up so high. You do not want to lose your candidate right now. What can you do? So a $5,000 sign-on bonus will make his all-in cash for the first year $190, which is still less than $220, much better than $160, which is the original term that we started. So almost there, and they're like, we cannot do, you know, retroactive prices. We cannot do any of that. And this is the best and final. And so honestly, like, I don't know how my candidate will respond. We'll see what happens. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. Like in the beginning, I'm like, this is not gonna happen. When 160 came out, I'm like, this is definitely not gonna happen. I'm gonna close this out, try to find a new candidate. But we're this far in negotiations. We got from 160 to 190 in cash plus extra stock options. Like, can this happen? We'll see. Got 2 other closing interviews today with the CEO and head of sales. I mean, if those go well, this could be literally one of the best days ever of my life, of 2023. So just gotta stay focused, keep my eye on the ball. We'll see what happens. Oh my God, I just saw an email from the candidate responding back to my client saying, hey, thank you so much. If you can send the offer with the revised negotiation terms that we've been talking about, I can review and I can sign. Oh my God. Woo. That is amazing. I thought we were never gonna be able to kind of get this done, but this goes to show that it's amazing working with a candidate who knows what he wants, who's willing to walk away from a higher financial package because he's passionate about the space that my client's in, and then us doing whatever we could behind the scenes to remind him of that fact and just helping him with the negotiations and addressing obstacles and countering objections and concerns and just being there whenever we can. But wow, I did not see this coming. It's not over yet. He needs to sign it. He needs to show up on the first day. He needs to shut down all the interviews. But if you were to tell me about even like 3 days ago, even a week ago, that this was gonna go to a possible offer, revised offer, I would have been like, you're lying. This is just not gonna happen. So complete disbelief that we're at this stage right now. I'm feeling so happy and just wanna do whatever we can to kind of get this done. So fingers crossed, and let's just make this happen. Let's go for the end. Here we go. This has become an insane Wednesday. So just heard back from our candidate earlier to ask the client to change and revise the offer terms for him to review and sign. And then when I emailed him saying, hey, how'd it go? He emailed back saying, it's done. Signed, sealed, delivered, start date confirmed next month. Next, had a follow-up interview with our head of sales with our e-commerce client, just to kind of go over any lingering questions about the offer. And he's already officially accepted, but for him to actually sign, he had a few more questions. They set up a call today, and he said it went really well, ready to sign the revised offer right away. And then third, got a CEO candidate who got an offer, but he wanted to negotiate with the CEO or the founder in this case, and they had another conversation just about 30 minutes ago, and I heard back from the candidate saying the conversation went smooth, official document terms should be done, and hopefully he should be ready to move forward when the founder revises it and sends it over to him to review and sign. Holy cow. All three of these are done. This is probably maybe one of the biggest single days that I've had in my career in a long time. Just completely speechless, and just need to make sure all three of them are signed, sealed, delivered, and they show up on the first day so that we can actually get paid for all this emotional and psychological baggage that we've been through. But I think that the crazy thing for me was that the clean energy tech, because I didn't think that was happening. I can't believe we went from 160 to 190 through negotiations. We battled through complicated technical questions about equity. I kept the candidate in the game when he could have dropped everything and just took the competing offer at any time. It was really stressful. It was nail biting. I was on the edge of my seat, and I can't believe it ended the way that it did. And then now these last two ongoing ones, it's just going to be the absolute kicker. And so far, like, everything's looking pretty good. I'm feeling really great, but it's only 3 p.m. here on a Wednesday. I still have 5 more candidate calls today, 1 more interview, and just despite everything, gotta keep on going. Brand new client next week, and yeah, excited to make it happen. And we'll break down the offers once they're signed, sealed, and delivered. So we'll keep you updated, and we'll go from there. Just got word that our head of sales signed the revised offer letter with a start date on April 3rd. That's 2 of the 3 deals done. The last deal is our CEO. I pinged the CEO, hasn't received the revised terms yet. I pinged the client, hasn't responded to yet. Hopefully that happens soon. But right now, this is on a rocket ship Wednesday. 2 out of 3. Let's see if we can close 3 out of 3 today, if not sometime this week. Fingers crossed, already an amazing month. Let's keep going. Happy Thursday. Just honestly been talking and sourcing candidates all morning, really waiting for that last confirmation of progress for my CEO candidate. I just got a text from the founder and a CC'd email that the official offer just went out to my candidate. Got to sync with my candidate, see how he feels. Hope he signs, seals, and delivers, because that would make it 3 out of 3 deals within 24 hours, which would be literally my biggest kind of day record ever. So super pumped about this. I was kind of worried that the founder, he just took a while to get back to me. And so we'll see what we can do. And I just hope it's good news. Fingers crossed, because this could be my highest single placement I've ever done in my recruiting career so far. So let's see what will happen. All right, quick update. It's about Thursday, 3 p.m. A lot of other pipelines are going really well. Just honestly waiting for the CEO candidate to sign, seal, and deliver and close this thing once and for all. It seems like him and the founder are just texting back and forth, which is great. Just got a last update from the candidate that says that everything is going well. He'll be signing soon. While that sounds like really great news, I'm not gonna believe it until I see it, because in recruiting, anything can happen. Just hope that it's going in the right way. And it's honestly out of my hands, because my candidate is vacationing right now. It's almost impossible to get a hold of him. And during his limited time, he's just more comfortable to talk directly with the founder, and I'm okay with that. Usually, we like to kind of be the official middlemen, but if candidates, are confident and able to effectively communicate directly with our clients, that's okay. I'm more than happy to play a secondary role as long as I'm succeeding and kept abreast with everything, which is exactly what's happening. So no real news yet, just waiting to see exactly what's happening here, and hope it goes well, and hoping to kind of get back to you with some good news. But if you've been following me for a while, recruiting, anything can happen. Just gotta pray to the recruiting gods that it goes our way. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh, guys, it is official. I was just working, I got a text from the candidate, and he goes, hey, it should be all set now. I just signed them all and just sent the official offer letter. Let's go!
Holy cow. Oh my god. That's so insane. Just feeling just grateful and blessed and positive. It's been a very difficult year for a lot of people, especially in my industry, and the fact that, you know, business is still chugging along, we're still able to do these immense deals is just absolutely phenomenal, and just a cumulative effect of all the hard work you put in for the past 2, 3, 4 years, past 10 years. If you've been watching this for the first time, I don't want you to get the feeling like, hey, you can just start recruiting with no background and just start doing these deals like this. Everything I've done is basically what I've done for almost the past decade, just honing my craft and improving my systems and tools, and always trying to find a way to do as best as I can. And, you know, in recruiting, you have to just go for it every single time with no guarantee. And a lot of times, as I show you in my videos, like I would lose a lot of deals. Something happens last minute, nothing really, you know, I would get blindsided, I would get surprised, but it just does not take away from the feeling I have when something like this happens, when I'm just absolutely speechless. This is the biggest deal I've ever done. And just feeling overall really, really grateful, and just overall kind of optimistic and positive for this year, you know, hoping that this continues with momentum, and just grateful for all of you and the support that you've given me. And yeah, just goes to show what you can do with just really, really hard work when you consistently show up and you put in that work day in and day out. And if you can do that, and you can get smarter and get wiser and be better over time, you know, then you can do awesome results like this. So 3 closed placements almost within the first kind of 24 hours is absolutely insane, and just made February one of the biggest months ever. And just so excited to see what else we could do. A lot of the other pipelines are looking pretty solid, and just, you know, putting in my work. And when something like this happens, I'm not taking the week off, I'm not taking the month off. I still have about 6 more calls today, about 13 candidate calls tomorrow. Just keep going as best as I can to be consistent and to try my best. So huge win for me personally and for the business, and just excited and thankful for my clients and candidates. Move on to the next one. Happy Friday. Honestly, still just buzzing from the insane high that we had for being able to successfully close 3 positions. The good news today is we were able to reconvene with one of our old clients, re-engage with them on brand new full stack engineer positions, having our first 2 engineers interview with them today, have 13 candidate calls, another client next week, another teammate starting next week. So things are going really, really well, just blessed and grateful. And honestly, this can only happen just by being consistent and working really, really hard. Thank you also for everyone that applied for internship. I really appreciate the responses. We're able to talk to a couple great rock stars. It was a really hard decision, but ultimately happy to say that we moved forward on one. Gonna close the position and might reopen a position later this year. So if you're still interested possibly to join the crazy world of volume, fast-paced, full desk recruiting, definitely keep watching our videos and follow me on Instagram. If we make another announcement shortly, you can of course reach back out. So really pumped about that. Gonna start training and over the next week or 2. Aside from that, just making sure that all interviews happen really well. Gonna complete my candidate calls, and to be honest, just gonna celebrate this weekend. I was initially just pretty worried like everyone else about the start of this week, just completely speechless that we were able to do what we were able to do this week, but not gonna let off the gas. Gonna keep just, you know, being focused, keep my heads down, and just always focus on that next deal, and just being consistent throughout the year. I suspect that this will get quite bumpy and possibly even more rocky as the year progresses. I hope not, but ready for everything. And as a business owner, you have to just make sure you are flexible, lean, you can pivot, you can adapt to whatever environment that, you know, is thrown your way. And just really happy that we are able to start Q1 a little bit stronger than expected. Obviously making me feel better for the rest of the year, but that's not going to make me slow down. If anything, that's going to make me even go harder to see what else we can do with the team. So pumped about that. Hope the interviews go well today, and see you in a bit. All right, it is Friday. Just finished all my candidate calls, submitted a lot of really great candidates to our pipeline, and just thought this would be a good idea to just thank you again for watching it again, another video. It's been extremely stressful beginning of this year, but you know, I'm feeling extremely blessed that we were able to just crush like really back-to-back massive placements this week, and just really feeling great about the trust given by candidates and clients to help them kind of really make important decisions on scaling teams and helping them find their next just amazing job. So it just another friendly reminder to myself why I do what I do. Obviously the money and success is fantastic, but it's really getting these heartfelt personalized notes from clients, hiring managers, and candidates thanking us for a job well done that keeps me in the game
for him after doing this for many, many years. So it's been a wonderful week. Definitely going to celebrate this weekend for sure. And yeah, very excited about, the coming months this year, and hope we can continue to maintain momentum, starting a brand new team member and hoping to kind of crush, if not surpass, all of our wildest goals. So if you are as excited as I am, please consider supporting our channel, and a fellow recruiter, give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It really means a lot. Don't forget to also follow us on our Discord channel. It's completely free. It's a wonderful opportunity where you can collaborate with other like-minded individuals around the world, where we just help each other out. And a great place to ask questions. Feel free to also reach out to me if you have any questions on the comments below, Discord, Instagram, or LinkedIn. If you have any other questions or any other video ideas you want me to make, I will do my best to get back to you and include that as part of our queue. So thank you so much again. Really appreciate it. It's been one heck of a week. Still stressed, but not as stressed as when I first started at the beginning of this week and the beginning of last week, but it's still going to be really, really important for me to just recharge and rest a lot this weekend and just show up and do my best and just try to do my best as I've always done. So hope you enjoyed this another week in your life. Hope you guys are crushing everything. Have a wonderful end of February. We'll see you on the next one.